My child, stop scrolling for a moment. This message did not find you by accident. Out of all the voices you could have heard today, you arrived here because something hidden is finally coming into the light. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. What you are about to hear is not about revenge, pride, or looking backward. It is about a truth that has been quietly growing while no one was watching. It is about the moment someone from your past finally decided they could no longer live without knowing who you truly became. For a long time, your ex believed the story they carried in their heart was complete. They thought they already understood why everything happened. They convinced themselves that they had seen the whole picture. But time has a remarkable way of exposing what emotions once covered. Silence has a way of becoming louder than words. Distance has a way of revealing what closeness once hid. And now, after all this time, they wanted one thing more than anything else: the truth about you. Don't skip, because the next part of this story changes everything. They began asking questions they never thought they would ask. Quietly. Carefully. Without letting anyone know what they were searching for. They expected to hear familiar stories. They expected someone to confirm the image they had built in their own mind. Instead, every answer led them somewhere they never imagined. They discovered that you did not allow disappointment to define your future. They discovered that every difficult chapter became a lesson instead of a permanent wound. They heard that your kindness remained even after painful moments tried to change your heart. They learned that your strength was never loud. It was built in silence, one decision at a time, while no one was applauding you. That realization unsettled them. Because it forced them to confront something they had avoided for a very long time. They realized they had never truly understood your heart. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The more they searched, the more unexpected details appeared. Someone mentioned how calmly you handled situations that once would have overwhelmed anyone else. Someone else spoke about your patience. Another person smiled while describing the encouragement you had given when nobody else noticed. Piece by piece, the image they once carried began to disappear. It was replaced by something entirely different. Not the person they remembered. The person you became. And that discovery shook them more deeply than they expected. They found themselves replaying old conversations. Small moments they had forgotten suddenly returned with incredible clarity. They remembered words they ignored. Acts of kindness they overlooked. Opportunities they never appreciated until they were long gone. For the first time, they understood that the greatest truths are often invisible until enough time has passed. Don't skip. Because this is only the beginning. There is another part of this story they never expected. As they continued searching for answers, something surprising happened. They stopped looking for reasons to justify the past. Instead, they started wondering what would have happened if they had listened more carefully, trusted more deeply, appreciated what stood before them instead of assuming it would always remain there. That question followed them everywhere. It arrived during quiet evenings. It appeared during ordinary conversations. It echoed through moments when everything around them seemed peaceful, yet their thoughts refuse to become silent. Why? Because truth has extraordinary power. Once it is discovered, it cannot be forgotten. The truth they uncovered was not dramatic because of a single event. It was powerful because every small discovery pointed toward the same conclusion. You had continued growing. You had continued learning. You had continued becoming someone stronger, wiser, calmer, and more compassionate than before. And they had never imagined that would be the ending to the story they once believed they understood. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. What they uncovered was not simply information. It was perspective. It was clarity. It was a reminder that people can change in remarkable ways when life teaches them lessons that no one else can teach. And as that realization settled into their heart, another question quietly appeared, one they had never expected to ask themselves. What if I never truly knew who they really were? That single question became impossible to ignore. It opened a door they had kept locked for far too long. A door leading toward honesty. Toward reflection. Toward understanding. What waits behind that door is far greater than they imagined, and the next chapter will reveal the discovery that completely transformed the way they see you forever. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. A quiet moment changed everything. Your ex believed the search was almost over. They thought they had already uncovered the biggest truth about you. But they were wrong. What came next was something they could never have predicted. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Every second of this story leads to a revelation that completely changes the meaning of everything they once believed. One conversation became the turning point. Someone who knew both of you looked at them and calmly said, "You keep asking about the past, but you're asking the wrong questions. The real story isn't who they were. The real story is who they have become." Those words stayed with them. They couldn't ignore them. For the first time, they stopped searching for old memories and started looking for present truth. And every answer surprised them. They discovered that people spoke about your peace more than your pain. They heard stories of your patience instead of your disappointments. They learned that your words had encouraged people who were facing difficult moments. Without realizing it, you had become a source of hope for others. That wasn't the version they expected to find. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Then another unexpected discovery appeared. They realized that while they had been wondering whether you still thought about them, you had been focused on becoming the best version of yourself. Every challenge had quietly shaped your character. Every delay had strengthened your confidence. Every unanswered question had prepared you for something greater than you could see. The truth was impossible to deny. Growth had become your greatest answer. That realization was more powerful than any explanation. It wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. It was undeniable. As more people shared their experiences, a remarkable pattern appeared. Different voices, different places, different stories, yet every person described the same qualities. Integrity. Kindness. wisdom, quiet confidence. Your ex could no longer convince themselves that these were coincidences. The picture had become clear. The person they thought they understood had continued becoming someone even stronger after the chapter between you ended. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Late one evening they found themselves sitting in complete silence. No distractions. No conversations. Just thoughts. And suddenly, one memory returned with incredible clarity. They remembered a promise you once made. At the time, they barely noticed it. Now those simple words carried an entirely different meaning. They realized you had stayed true to your values even when nobody was watching. That discovery changed everything. Because character is revealed most clearly when there is no audience. They began asking themselves difficult questions. What did I overlook? What blessings did I fail to recognize? What if I misunderstood the person standing beside me all along? Those questions refused to leave. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Then came the moment no one expected. Someone handed them a recent photograph of you. There was nothing extraordinary about the picture. No grand event. No dramatic background. Just a genuine smile. But that smile told a story words never could. It revealed peace. It revealed confidence. It revealed someone who had learned to move forward with grace. Looking at that single image, they realized something that completely reshaped their understanding. True transformation cannot be hidden. It naturally shines through ordinary moments. That realization touched them more deeply than they could explain. For the first time, they stopped wondering whether life had changed you. Instead, they wondered how they had failed to see the extraordinary strength that had always been there. Don't skip. Because the next discovery is even greater. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Just when they believed they had uncovered every answer, another unexpected truth quietly approached. It wasn't found in a conversation. It wasn't found in a photograph. It wasn't found in anyone else's opinion. It came from a realization inside their own heart. And that realization would lead them to one decision they never imagined they would make, a decision capable of changing the entire direction of this story forever. The next discovery arrived when they least expected it. Everything they had learned so far was only preparing them for this moment. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The truth they were about to uncover was not hidden in a message, a photograph, or someone else's opinion. It was hidden inside the moments they had ignored for far too long. One ordinary afternoon, they found themselves passing a place that reminded them of your story. They almost kept walking. But something urged them to stop. As they stood there, memories returned with remarkable clarity, not the painful ones they had repeated in their mind for years, but the quiet moments they had forgotten. They remembered your patience when situations became difficult. They remembered your calm voice during uncertain times. They remembered the way you always searched for understanding before reaching conclusions. Those memories felt completely different now. For years, they had focused on what ended. Now they finally saw everything that had been there all along. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The realization became impossible to escape. They understood that the greatest mistake had never been a single conversation or one difficult day. It had been failing to recognize the value of someone whose heart had always been genuine. That thought stayed with them. Morning after morning. Night after night. No matter how busy life became, the same question quietly returned. What if the truth was always standing in front of me? Every answer pointed in the same direction. The more honestly they looked back, the clearer everything became. They realized your actions had always matched your words. Your kindness had never depended on recognition. Your character had remained steady, even during moments when life became uncertain. That discovery changed the story they had been telling themselves for years. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Then something happened that no one expected. A mutual acquaintance smiled during a simple conversation and said, "It's amazing how much they have grown. They inspire people without even trying." Those words echoed long after the conversation ended. Not because they were dramatic, but because they were true. For the first time, your ex understood that influence is not measured by attention. It is measured by the lives quietly touched through kindness, wisdom, and consistency. That realization was more powerful than they could describe. Don't skip. Because what happened next surprised even them. One evening, they opened an old notebook that had remained untouched for a long time. Inside were small reminders, forgotten plans, and simple thoughts written during another season of life. As they turned each page, one sentence captured their attention. It mentioned your belief in brighter days, even when circumstances seemed uncertain. They paused. They read it again. Then once more. Only now did they understand what those words truly meant. Hope had always been one of your greatest strengths. Back then, they overlooked it. Now they admired it. The truth had finally become undeniable. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Piece by piece, every discovery formed one complete picture. The person they had been searching for no longer existed only in memories. You had become someone even stronger than they imagined. Not because life had been easy, but because you chose growth over bitterness, peace over resentment, purpose over regret. That transformation spoke louder than anything else. It became the answer they had been searching for all along. And then, in a quiet moment filled with reflection, they whispered something they never thought they would admit. I finally understand. Those 3 words carried years of realization. Years of unanswered questions. Years of assumptions quietly falling away. But the story was not over. Because understanding always leads to a decision. And the decision they were about to make would become the most unexpected chapter of this entire journey. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The next moment will reveal the choice that changed everything forever, and once that choice is made, nothing in this story will ever be the same again. Everything finally led to one unforgettable choice. The truth had been uncovered. The memories had been revisited. The questions had finally been answered. But none of those discoveries mattered as much as what happened next. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. This is the moment that completely transformed the story your ex believed they already understood. For days, they wrestled with one decision. Should they leave everything exactly as it was? Or should they finally accept the truth they had spent so long avoiding? Every path led back to the same realization. No matter how far life had moved forward, the respect they now had for the person you became continued to grow. It wasn't built on old emotions. It wasn't built on old memories. It was built on undeniable truth. That truth had become impossible to ignore. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. One quiet evening, they stood beneath a sky filled with stars and thought about every lesson life had taught them. For the first time, they stopped blaming circumstances. They stopped searching for excuses. They stopped rewriting history. Instead, they accepted something remarkably simple. People often recognize true value only after enough time has passed for wisdom to replace assumptions. That realization brought an unexpected sense of peace. Not because it changed the past, but because it changed the way they understood it. As that peace settled into their heart, another thought quietly appeared. What if the greatest discovery wasn't about them? What if it was about me? That single question changed everything. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. They realized the journey to discover the truth about you had also revealed truths about themselves. It taught them patience. It taught them humility. It taught them that growth belongs to anyone willing to learn. And suddenly, every unanswered question from the past began making sense. Nothing had been wasted. Every experience had carried a lesson. Every delay had carried purpose. Every challenge had quietly shaped a wiser future. Don't skip. Because the final realization is even more powerful. As they reflected on everything they had discovered, they smiled, not because every answer was perfect, but because truth always brings clarity. They no longer wondered who you had become. They knew. They no longer questioned your character. They respected it. They no longer searched for hidden stories. They had already found the greatest one. The greatest discovery was not that your life had changed. The greatest discovery was that your heart had remained true while your wisdom continued to grow. That was the answer they had been searching for all along. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. And then came the quiet ending no one expected. Without saying a word to anyone, they chose gratitude over regret. Respect over misunderstanding. Hope over assumption. They realized that some people enter our lives to teach lessons that remain valuable forever. Your story had become one of those lessons. Not because it ended, but because it continued to inspire long after the chapter had closed. As they walked forward, they carried one final thought with them. The truth changed everything because it changed me. Those words became the closing sentence of a journey they never imagined taking. And perhaps the greatest message hidden inside this entire story is this: never underestimate the quiet power of growth. Never assume someone's story has ended simply because you can no longer see the next chapter. Sometimes the most extraordinary transformation happens far away from the world's attention. Sometimes the greatest victories happen in silence. Sometimes the truth arrives later than expected, but when it finally arrives, it changes everything. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because every ending quietly prepares the beginning of a brand new story, and sometimes, the most meaningful chapter is the one no one saw coming until the very last moment.